Many of you may be seeing a clip from this podcast about Dr. Beck, and there's nothing wrong with what she has to say, but it's from a podcast called The Diary of a CEO, and the host behind this is a guy by the name of Steve Bartlett. Steve Bartlett was behind a company called Social Chain.
As big brands look for new ways to engage with millennials, they've shifted their advertising strategy towards social media. And the people who best understand how to gain traction on social networks are millennials themselves. So brands are paying very young people shocking amounts of money to market to their peers. And it's working.
So this mural here is the answer to the question, what would the Last Supper look like if it happened today?
Social Chain is the creation of Steve Bartlett, a 24-year-old university dropout. In 2014, Steve started hiring the authors of popular social media channels, often teenagers living at home, and brought them into one company. They own more than 400 popular accounts across a number of social media platforms and use them to influence what young people talk about online. So you're not representing digital influencers. What you do is you find the digital influencers and you bring them in.
We are the digital influencers.
This morning, they're creating content for their Love Food channel on Instagram, which has almost 7 million followers. So you've just posted the picture, and that's your notification. Social Chain's revenue grew by nearly 600% last year to almost $7 million, and it's projected to double in 2017. The creative team gave us a demo of how they can set the conversation.
So today we're just trying to think of something that we can hit the trending topics on Twitter. There's so much conversation on Twitter right now. It's all Brexit and Trump.
Are you going to think of a hashtag now? What is it that you're thinking of?
Yeah, I think if we went with hashtag American versus British.
The hashtag is going to be American versus British.
Yeah, game on.
And you've got half an hour. Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
You have a lot of young people working for you, but you also work with a lot of companies run by older people. Mm-hmm. Are you just blagging it? Are you just a bunch of kids who've got together who are convincing old people that this is how you do things?
My honest response to that is I don't think you can get this far by blagging it.
While we're talking to Steve, word comes from the creative team that their hashtag has already gained traction.
She's celebrating because it's trending.
They started trying to make this trend at 4 o'clock, and 11 minutes later, number 6 in the United Kingdom, trending topic, American versus British. I think we easily win this by not having Trump, who wants to eat a stupid cookie when you can have a glorious biscuit. That's impressive, but are you transparent? Because when I log into Twitter and I see American versus British, in my head, it was somebody who sat around, came up with something, and then that caused a trend. Do people know that you're behind it?
It's exactly what you just described there. So you said there's a group of people that sit around, they come up with something, they post. That's exactly what you've just seen here. These are the people that before this was we came together, were sat in their bedrooms, influencing all those trends. The only thing is now they do it here.
So you're a group of influential individuals who've realised that collectively you are an Illuminati.
You said it. Okay, they're not our words.
Now, we think of this as kind of everyday stuff now, but a decade ago, nobody was thinking about it that way. And his Day in the Life of a CEO video has become incredibly popular. And by and large, when he focused on business, which he did for the vast majority of the years that this has been going on, and he's had the podcast since 2017, more recently, the podcast has pivoted away from strictly business topics to include health topics. And according to this article in the BBC, some of that is presenting misinformation. When the BBC looked at health-related topics talked about on the podcast, they found that on average, they had 14 harmful health claims that went against extensive scientific evidence. These claims covered everything from anti-vax conspiracies to autism to claiming that a keto diet would help cure cancer. The article also said that the BBC found that Mr. Bartlett had financial stakes in some of these companies, which was why he was pivoting towards this health-related content. All of this to say, because there are no gatekeepers, it is incumbent upon us to understand who is presenting the information to us and what financial stake they have in presenting that kind of content.